Hi, and welcome to Geno's Picks. People, it's Saturday, the big game. Two huge Final Four games coming up, and you can't wait to get to it. But first, let's talk about it. Last week, 1-3. But despite that, I am still 14-10 on the year. That's 58%, people. Daddy's keeping you in the black. And Monday morning, you know, Geno does a sports wrap. Come back for that because we'll have some fun little jokes. But of course, we will give you my prediction for the big game. All right. But now, let's get right to the picks. We'll start with the first game. 6:09. Number 1 Kentucky is giving 8.5 to the number 4 Louisville Cards. People, first of all, let me tell you something. Facing Kentucky is no vacation, but facing Kentucky is a lot like going on vacation to Florida. Because the second you set foot there, you're going to be staring at a lot of 80. You understand? Kentucky scores like crazy. They are averaging 88 points a game in the tournament, and they've beaten everyone by double digits. And why wouldn't they? They have studs like Anthony Davis, who is just named AP Player of the Year. He's averaging 4.6 blocks a game. Let's give you a stat on him. Of the 175 blocks he's had this year, 99 have been recovered by Kentucky, and they've turned those into 101 points. So do the math. That's like a 3-point swing. Because every time the opposition has a ball, they're expecting to get 2. Instead, they're losing a point at the other end. That's a 3-point swing. He's doing that 4.5 times a game. Do the math, people. That's 14, 13 points. So that's going to be interesting. Secondly, there's this kid named Michael Kidd Gilchrist who has more weapons than he does names. He's amazing. He's averaging 21.5 a game, 7.5 boards, and he's shooting at 56%. This kid is coming out of nowhere. These two players have made you forget that when the season started, power forward of Kentucky, Terrence Jones, was everyone's call for the number 1 lottery pick. But now, Terrence Jones is a lot like the Powerball winners last night. He's sharing that lottery with 2 other people. And why wouldn't you? Look at the depth of Kentucky. They have more future NBA stars than the Wizards do right now. Well, the Wizards are terrible. We won't even get into them. So you've got to like Kentucky. And when you're looking at a battle of Kentucky, well, then when you're better with Kentucky, treat yourself like a chick in Kentucky. You're always going to get in bed with the better shooter, right? But that doesn't mean you haven't slept with the other one. People, I like Louisville here getting all the points because, one, Louisville is 4-0 against the spread, okay? And Rick Pitino knows how to square up and change defense and adjust. So I'm going to tell you something. Like I said earlier, this game's going to be like being a woman in Kentucky. Sure, you're attracted to the better shooter, but that doesn't mean you won't get in bed with his friend. And I'll tell you something else. You're going to learn after you do that being the better person doesn't mean you're a great shooter, but it's being able to stop the other guy from shooting. People, Louisville's D is great. This is a low-scoring game. I'm going to give you 3 bets here. Take Louisville and the 8.5. Take Kentucky on the money line and try and middle it. And people, take the under in this game. The under is 136.5, people. So there you go. Louisville to the under, people. All right. And my other pick, Ohio State Buckeyes are facing Kansas, both number 2 seeds. Although I've said it before, I like Kansas. They're kind of a number 1. But in this game, people, let's talk about it. Watching these 2 teams whose starting 5s are awesome, they get nothing. They get nothing past those starters. People, in fact, neither one of the reserves have scored more than 8 points. In fact, watching these 2 teams in the tourney is like watching a kicker at the combine. You know they wouldn't have been there if they didn't deserve it and they weren't really good. But you're not expecting a lot from the bench. Am I right? Now, last time these 2 played, who won? Kansas by 11. But why? Because 1, Tyshawn Taylor played even though he was banged up. He had 7 turnovers, which is huge, but he still had a ton of assists. He put up points. And Jared Sullinger of Ohio State did not play. And since then, Ohio State has been playing at a ridiculous level. Jared Sullinger is averaging 20.6 points a game. He's shooting 57%. And how's this for a staggering stat? When he gets underneath, if you let him in the paint, he's shooting 47%. That's why he has 479 points. Letting Jared Sullinger inside the paint is like letting a man come inside on the first date. You're begging for him to pound you, and you have no one to blame but yourself when he does. People, Jared Sullinger is a great matchup here, and I'll tell you, when he's not posted up, look for Jeff Robinson to do it. And who's going to stop him? Jeff Withey? Jeff Withey has vanished in the tournament, which is hard for a 7-footer to do, but he has posted double digits in scoring only once. You know why? Because he's playing less like a 7-foot Withey and more like a 6-foot Whitey. People, when you watch this game, watch it, because watching Jeff Withey is going to be like watching Heather McCartney on Dancing with the Stars. Either way, you're staring at them saying, I can't believe they're not even using that extra foot. People, I love Ohio State here, getting the 2.5. Take the Buckeyes, and we'll talk Monday. Those are Geno's picks.